I want my $60,000.
60 G's?
We bet 60 G's on a variety of bets this past week.
Yeah, we have that on the record.
I said UT was going to win. I said we both said the Rockets.
Wait, I didn't even bet the UT.
Yeah, we did. Trey Young.
I said Trey Young was on the
Rockets.
Nah. The Rockets and then
I won the Rockets bet.
Nah, no, you didn't.
Excuse me?
I won the Rockets bet.
How? You said the Cavaliers.
No, I had. No.
Go back to the tape.
And the topic hit Super Bowl, I said the Eagles were going to upset them. Y'all
That's what I'm saying. You want me to watch? Because I bet the Eagles.
I didn't even. How you bet the Eagles?
I bet the Eagles, man.
What?
I bet the Eagles. I bet the Eagles, dog.
You have Patriots crossed out with Eagles right here.
I bet the Eagles, man. Everybody know I had the Eagles, man.
You did not have.
I had the Eagles, bro. I got the Eagles.
What's on the back?
I got the Eagles. And then I told you, I bet James.
This
Number 13, man. James Harden.
Who has Harden down here? This supposed to be up here. He tossed out the 2 and put a 1.
I don't lose bets, man.
His kids made this shirt,
I don't lose bets.
That's why he didn't watch.
Give me the watch, bro.
I want my 60 G's.
Give me the watch.
I want my 60 G's.
This motherfucker stretched. This is so childish. This is a toddler.
Nah, man, look. Give me the watch. Everybody know we got it on record.
Dog, it's in green.
You,
It's in green. He
wrote it in green.
The Eagles, man.
And you crossed out Patriots.
We fly high, baby. We fly high.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Pierce Simpson. I know that you all enjoyed the Super Bowl last night. Today's episode is jam-packed. I'm joined here by Complex Sports editor Adam Caparell. You got that's the Belichick hoodie on right there. I see you shining.
Yeah, but I'm a winner today. Unlike Bill Belichick, so I'm stunting. Yeah.
Taking shots at the guy. And the guy that gets out of every single bet, the guy that will forever owe me $60,000, Mr. Gilbert Arenas.
What's happening?
I'm still upset that you just crossed out Patriots.
I had the Eagles, man.
Listen, we got company here. You acting up.
I had the Eagles.
And friend of Out of Bounds, Miss Miko Grimes.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome back, Miko.
Thank you for having me back. About time. I was waiting.
Hey, thank you for coming back.
I was waiting.
Thank you. It was all his fault. It was all Gilbert Arenas' fault. Now, we mentioned at the top of the show, Super Bowl 52 last night. Easily one of the best Super Bowls in recent memory. The Philadelphia Eagles, I guess, upset doing the Patriots 41-33. This is Philadelphia's first championship in their franchise history. In fact, their last championship was before Super Bowls even came around. So I just had to get another jab at Eagles fans. Tom Brady's
the Cowboys fans.
Exactly. Tom Brady's the first Super Bowl quarterback to throw for over 500 yards, 3 touchdowns with no interceptions, and still lose the ball game. Everyone here, initial thoughts on Super Bowl 52. I'm going to go to you last, because I feel like you didn't watch the game to get out of it.
Skip.
Miko.
It was arts and crafts time.
Yeah, exactly.
Skip, you see what he was doing during the game. He was trying to figure out how to get out of his bed.
How do I get out of $60,000? Miko, what was your initial thoughts on Super Bowl 52?
Well, initially, I'm like everybody else in America. I'm obviously thinking the Patriots are going to win this game. Right. You know, you never bet against Tom and Bill Belichick. And it just seemed like from the beginning, the first drive of the game, where the Eagles just slowly marched down and scored on them, it just seemed like they were going to try to keep control the entire time, and it really was their game. I don't think the Patriots ever felt comfortable. They never felt like it was their game. They were always behind. And it was just a great game to watch because we were all waiting for that moment where Tom Brady was going to show up and just destroy all Philadelphia fans' hopes and everything, and it just never happened.
Yeah, we kind of felt like it might happen whenever Philadelphia scored on the Zach Ertz controversial touchdown. I believe there was over 2 minutes left on the clock, enough time for Tom Brady and company to come back. But Brandon Graham got the clutch sack. Remember, I told you last week when I bet $60,000 was going to be pressure on the inside.
You said.
I'm done with
you said.
You get a lot of pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Had some of that second quarter, but all it took was one play. One play to turn around. I think the biggest thing I take away from this game is Doug Peterson's stones, because we had those, 2 fourth down calls that I think like 85% of the coaches in the NFL would never go for.
Ever.
Eagles were very aggressive this year in going for it on 4th down. It paid off again in the Super Bowl with the play before the halftime and the other 4th down call that, with a big catch to keep the drive going. So Doug Peterson's stones is what's going to stand out for me in the Super Bowl.
Because Chris Collinsworth kept talking about the two-point conversion where they run the reverse throw to Nick Foles. But the biggest play was the 4th down conversion that you mentioned when it was under 5 minutes left to go. If they don't convert there, Tom Brady has a short field and they can easily.
Whole nother game.
Exactly, easily.
Yeah, it didn't stop him at all, the entire night. So I think, you called an over game, so you called it properly. I thought we were going to have an under game, so, it was an offensive shootout, very, very entertaining.
Shocking.
I would have liked to have seen a few more stops here and there, but again, we didn't get any defensive stops until the one critical play, and that's all it really took. And that's literally the difference in the game was that one play.
Gil, You're not a diehard NFL fan, mind you. Did you even watch the game?
No, I didn't even.
Okay, at least
He's honest.
No. I had to take kids to tutor.
Okay.
And then I had to take my son to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Then I had to go pick my daughter up back from tutor, take a nap. By the time I woke up, I had to pick my son back up. So I didn't actually get to watch it.
you should have wrote Father of the Year on this T-shirt as opposed to.
So I'm not going to sit here and
Dad.
pretend
Father of the
like
year.
I have any expertise on what happened last night, because I don't.
But do you feel bad for your boy Tom Brady?
I was going for folks, man.
Nick Foles. Yeah, Nick Foles.
Both of them. They did great last night. That's because I was going for the Eagles.
We need somebody backstage
Oh
to
my
make
God.
a Nick Foles jersey, but instead of Foles, it just says folks.
Yeah.
These my folks.
And he mentioned the lack of defensive stops. A lot of records last night, not in just Super Bowl history, but NFL history. The most yards total offense ever in a game, 1,151 yards combined for both teams.
We needed this.
We
needed this.
It's crazy, too, that the Patriots didn't punt at all.
No.
Brady threw for more yards than Nick Foles, and they still lose the game. Philly didn't play a perfect game,
Right.
but they played close to it.
Yeah.
Like, those two scenarios, and only one, and the turnover battle was even, like, the Patriots are going to win that ball game, like, 95% of the time.
Yeah.
And again, we spoke last week from a basketball perspective. You always play to win. You always remain aggressive, and I feel like Philadelphia did that last night.
I mean, that was the only way they were going to beat them anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
You have to.
play a perfect game and just keep going. I mean, you can't ever let your foot off of Brady's neck. And obviously, they didn't.
Yeah. Another big story from last night's game was years ago, well, not even years ago, 3 years ago, Malcolm Butler helped the New England Patriots get a Super Bowl title against the Seattle Seahawks while making a clutch interception. Fast forward last night, he only had one snap, and that was on special teams, 0 defensive snaps. There's a lot of speculation going around. What do we think happened to Malcolm Butler? And Gil, why would you keep one of your best players off?
I mean, is he one of the best players?
Yes, he is.
Exactly. I don't even know who he is.
I think it has.
But so he is one of the best
Yes,
players?
he is. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there's been a lot of issues with their contracts in the last couple of years. Malcolm Butler is someone who rose in a game where, when you have a game like the Super Bowl, I kind of reflected back to Richard Sherman. He made some great plays and some great moments that put him on a platform to say things like, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, even if you're not.
Right.
Malcolm Butler came in, won that. He didn't win the Super Bowl, but he had a great moment in a game. And I think that made him feel like he deserved a certain check.
Yeah.
And he is due some money coming up soon. I think there may be some issues contractually because I know the Patriots, they don't pay nobody.
Right.
Like they'll pick and choose people that they'll pay, but Malcolm Butler is not looking at a situation where they're going to pay him, I don't believe, and there may be some issues inside.
So you're calling conspiracy and
Conspiracy.
a divided locker room.
There's no reason that you wouldn't play him, especially like you could talk about skill. There's one thing about skill, but there's something else about experience. And you would need that experience out there. You would absolutely need that. And for the Patriots to decide not to play him, I think it's personal more than anything.
You would jeopardize that.
You're the
during
Patriots.
Super Bowl.
You're the Patriots.
Yeah.
The most important player is Tom Brady. Everybody else is replaceable.
I mean, do you know how hard-headed Bill Belichick is, though?
But I'm saying they were never in the NBA. They were never.
Never. That's a whole.
You'll deal with that when
but
the
they
season's
also
over
have
with.
guaranteed contracts in the NBA also.
But still, if he has a chance to help, one sack, one interception, you play that dude.
Yeah.
And Miko was onto something. He's entering free agency this offseason. There was speculation that he would be a part of the Brandon Cooks trade last offseason that would have sent him to New Orleans. So it's no telling what could happen this offseason. Do you think Belichick just got too cute in his facade?
Yeah. I mean, I give him credit for sticking to his guns and keeping Butler off the field, but it is so shocking that a guy who has a defensive background the way Bill Belichick does would sacrifice his defense in the name of some sort of stand against a player for whatever reason. I mean, more's going to come out at some point. Obviously, it's not going to just die out. But I kind of question that whether having him in the lineup would have made that big of a difference because the New England defense was trash all season long.
Yeah, but
I know it's one play. Yeah, one play could have happened. One play could have happened in a close game like that. But still,
one play.
The New England defense was terrible all year long, even with him in the lineup. So it's like
But you look at the play he made in the Super Bowl, and then you look at the defensive alignment of the Eagles. They didn't get to Tom Brady.
Very true.
The pressure does help, but actually getting to him, all it takes is one play.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. And when you saw Rowe going in and Jeffries catching those passes over him, keep in mind he was on that touchdown.
Yeah.
There's no shade about his defense, but experience helps.
She's on to something.
No, you completely.
Yeah.
And the Patriots, the reason they lost this game, not because of Tom Brady, not in any way, shape, or form the offense, the defense couldn't stop anyone.
Exactly.
I mean, it was a sieve
Yeah.
over there. So it's like, Belichick's going to have to burn for the fact that he stuck to his guns with Butler, and this defense was overall trash. And Matt Patricia is now going to move on as a defensive coordinator to some other team, to the Lions. Takes a ton of heat. So, but yeah, it's totally shocking that one of your best players you're going to leave on the sidelines and kind of ostracize him that way. So there's got to be something really fucked up behind the scenes for him not to have played in the Super Bowl, where he had one of the biggest plays in Super Bowl history. It's shocking.
And Gil, from a player standpoint, the guy that replaced Malcolm Butler gave up over 70 yards to Alshon Jeffrey in the first half, including a touchdown. Like you mentioned, after the game, Malcolm Butler said, they gave up on me. It is what it is. And obviously he was very emotional. From a player standpoint, how do you
That's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where if the coach ego is that high to risk a game,
you don't even
you deserve to lose. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's out of my hands. Like I hurt my knee with a move like that.
With like what? What you mean you hurt your knee with a move like not?
That's how I got injured. Because I was arguing about the lineup we were doing the night before, and I showed up late. So coach decided he was going to bring me off the bench.
And you weren't warmed
up? And he brought me off the bench for the first time.
Really?
Against the Bobcats.
And that's what Joe
came in last minute of the first quarter. Boop.
Damn.
Were you not warmed up or?
No, I mean it was a freak accident.
Yeah.
It was a freak accident how I got hit, but it was.
You feel like you wouldn't even been in that position if you had started?
I wouldn't have been in a position if I would have went home, because that was the thing. I'm going fucking home. We're getting ready for playoffs, and you're playing these little fucking mind games with our lineup.
Yeah.
And at first we was like one of the hottest teams in the in the East, and then one of our centers came back, and then from there we just been tinkling with the lineup. Right. And I was pissed off at it because we lost to the Bobcats, so we had the Bobcats back to back.
Now, this game last night was very interesting for a variety of reasons. And what would an NFL game be without the controversy involving what's a catch, what's a non-catch? Last week we had the big discussion both off camera and on set about it. We had two incidents last night with the Philadelphia Eagles. First, Clement catching a touchdown where he kind of juggled the ball, play stood. And then the final go-ahead touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles, Zach Ertz catches the ball, becomes a runner, crosses the plane, fumbles, catches it again. Still, Twitter's in an uproar, a lot of controversy. Will we ever fix the no catch rule in the NFL, Miko?
No, we're never going to fix it because nobody wants to just make it simple.
Yeah.
The NFL wants it to be so complicated so that they can change their mind whenever the hell they feel like it. Right. I feel like that's what they're trying to do. Make it simple. If you can run across, as soon as you cross a plane, that should be a touchdown. Period.
So you agree
there shouldn't be anything else about it. If you cross the plane, touchdown. Doesn't matter what the play is.
Nothing extra.
Nothing
going
extra.
To the ground and complete
Just
the
make
catch.
it simple. Cross the plane.
Right.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
That's how you make it.
But that's like everything in every other sport.
Oh yeah.
Track. As soon as you hit everything is that's a goal.
What's the move you did last week?
But that's the thing. With football, it's as soon as you break that line, it is a touchdown. Whatever happens after that
shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I think they got half, one out of the two right.
Yeah.
I thought Ertz's should have stand. There was a proper call. That clearly was a catch, and he was a runner extending the football over the goal line for a touchdown. Correct call.
Right.
Clements, I thought they got wrong.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that was the end zone touchdown.
Wow, you think he didn't have control?
No, not even control. I thought that his foot was on the line, and I'm actually shocked that they allowed that to go. And Gene Steratore,
but you're talking about a reestablish. He already had.
Yeah, but I even thought that the foot was actually on the end line also.
What do you mean? At the end?
Catch, yes.
But he already had the ball before that. Once he catches it.
Yeah, but 2 feet at that point, I
don't care. The 2 feet needs to get the hell out of here.
I was shocked that one.
That's why I feel like the rule needs to
was upheld. I thought they were going to overturn that one. But Gene Steratore, the ref last night, was saying that it wasn't confirmed on the field.
Yeah.
It stands.
It stands.
So there's still the fucked up thing in the background.
2 feet. If you have 1 foot on the ground and you catch it, touchdown.
But also, Ertz is again, simplify the catch rule. You can't take 5 to 6 minutes to look at it.
It's annoying.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Enough of these reviews.
Gene Steratore has been caught up in some of the most controversial catch calls in recent memory. He was a part of the Dez non-catch back in 2014 in Green Bay. Obviously, yesterday. I think the NFL had a nightmare scenario last night. And a lot of the calls were made on the field that normally would have been made in New York City. All the officials there. I think they just wanted to say, listen, just go with the call on the field. We don't want any PR backlash,
It's on the owners to change in the offseason and see if they actually do it, though.
I don't think they want to because I think they all want to be able to complain whenever something doesn't go their way.
I just
Just make it
don't
simple.
understand what it goes to. Like, what do you change it to? It's so much greater.
Make it simple. Shit, it breaks the line, touchdown.
Yeah.
You would think so, but
1 foot, I caught it, touchdown.
You got to get 2 feet in.
No, for what?
It's kind of stupid.
rules.
Make it tougher than college. College is 1 foot.
It's
get 2
kinda
feet.
1 foot.
It should be 1
What is it? 1 foot.
I think
Like,
one
what do you
should-
need 2 feet for?
Every
You
single
bam.
sport, it's 1 foot. Nobody else has 2 feet anything.
When you go chase the ball out of bounds, you got to go jump for it. 1 foot.
All you need,
Yeah, you ain't got 2 feet to go jump. No.
Can you imagine Gilbert Arenas being a consultant for the NFL? It's like, we need Gilbert Arenas on the line. Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles.
Yes.
Honestly, one of the greatest storylines so far in NFL history that we've seen. Go from starter in Philadelphia, leave, head to Kansas City, the LA Rams, well, formerly St. Louis Rams, and now back in Philly, where he becomes Super Bowl MVP. He came in succession of Carson Wentz, who was hurt.
Pay the man his money.
What?
Pay the man his money.
How we go from me telling the story, you just say, I don't want to hear nothing else, pay him
Pay
his
the man
money.
his money. He's a free agent probably, right?
After next season.
Oh.
He has
Shit, he
one more
about to be benched again.
If they're smart, they trade him, they get something for him. There's no reason to keep Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is obviously the starting quarterback.
Yes.
He's the reason they got here. Nick Foles is obviously the reason they won because he played incredible. You know, including closing out the season.
Yeah.
He had a great season. I was shocked. I wasn't expecting it. And I feel like at this point, they have to get something from him because there's no reason to sit him on the bench. Another team is going to want him as a starter. He's going to be a hot commodity, and he's probably going to get paid somewhere else.
In all 3 of their postseason games that Nick Foles started, they were underdogs in each of those contests. Again, Super Bowl MVP Adam. Washington Redskins already made their transition to get a quarterback this offseason. If there's any trades lined up, where could Nick Foles end
There's
up?
like 5 or 6 places he could possibly go. Arizona needs a quarterback. Denver needs a quarterback. Jets may need a quarterback. Minnesota too, with their situation with Case Keenum and all, you know, and Sam Bradford and Teddy Bridgewater. Buffalo, Miami possibly too. So like Nick Foles has some spots to go, but yeah, they have to do some wheeling and dealing to actually get him off the roster.
Did you say New Orleans?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I thought you said New Orleans. I was like, wait, does Miko have some tea about Drew Brees and everything?
No.
Giants?
No, I'm actually
Eli's still there.
not after that Super Bowl commercial. I don't know.
You don't like that commercial?
No, I think that commercial meant he's out of there.
That's what you say. He's
That
like, do the dirty
commercial
dancing
seemed like-
commercial. He's out.
Like he's out of there.
How you watch that commercial but ain't watch the game?
Instagram.
Yes.
I'm with it.
Media.
Best commercial of the night. Got it.
We catch up on everything.
When do we anticipate this move potentially with Nick Foles going down? If he does get traded, do we think it happens after Kirk Cousins finds a landing spot? Because he will find another team after Washington.
Yeah, you have. I mean, there's more stuff that has to settle with free agency, which will kick off at the beginning of March,
Yeah,
and you kind of see
early
some
March.
dominoes fall. But yeah, I have a very tough time imagining that the Eagles bring Nick Foles back because this is as high a value you're going to get for him. Get rid of him, get some draft
Yes,
picks, get something
get
else.
some
Like you
money.
can do some stuff. And Carson Wentz is clearly their quarterback. He was going to be the MVP of the league until he went down with a knee injury.
Listen, as Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, was receiving the Lombardi Trophy, he said, yeah, we lost our franchise quarterback in the midst of him saying stuff. If I'm Nick Foles, I'm like, yo, I
Chill.
just won the Super Bowl MVP, and you talking about our
And
franchise
the
quarterback.
first backup quarterback to start the year as a backup and then win the Super Bowl since.
Brady.
There you go.
Ah, look at him.
This guy.
Look, and he got it.
I mean, I had to go against Brady, you know.
But I
You know, I didn't want to do it, but
You had to
you
go
know
against
what?
Brady this morning.
listen, but that's a perfect segue. Even though Tom Brady and his New England Patriots lost the Super Bowl last night, I went to Minnesota over the weekend to capture all the content, and we spoke to a variety of star players who gave their opinions on whether or not Tom Brady's legacy is still intact despite losing Super Bowl 52. Let's check it out.
Is he still one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
Yes.
No matter what.
No matter
Win,
what.
lose, or draw.
Win, lose, or draw. He might go from number 3 top athlete to number 5, so, he's still there. He's still there.
Greatest quarterback of all time?
I'd say so.
You say
for
so?
now.
Okay, for now.
He's still a GOAT. He got 5 rings. I was watching that documentary on Facebook. He was sliding all those rings on. 5 of them on his hand, you know. And in basketball, you know, it's cool to do, but, man, football is one of those sports, man, it's brutal on your body. So to even go back-to-back, that's a challenge within itself. And so that just shows the true mental toughness of this guy and of his team.
Still number 2.
Still number 2 all time, no matter what. Crazy at this
8
point.
Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
8
And all of this is
Super Bowls.
All of this since 2002, if I'm not mistaken. Greatest quarterback of all time?
I'm going to have to get it to my boy Aaron, but he has the greatest accolades of all time, yes.
The ones you got?
Yo, it was negative 7.
No, I'm gonna stack it.
-7.
What's the
How we go from Tom Brady's legacy, you talking about?
your boots stood out. What kind of fucking boots is
You
those?
distracted
Here's
us
what's
all.
funny. Here's what's funny. Kanye wear those, y'all ain't saying nothing.
Nah, I am.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Shut up. It's Kanye, so we know whatever his is real.
There's a guy that owes me $60,000. You're not gonna play this right.
No, you owe me that one.
He's roasting your fin. Look at the T-shirt.
Exactly. Tom Brady's legacy. 5 Super Bowl titles. He was trying to get a 6 yesterday. Played outstanding last night, Super Bowl 52. As you could tell from some of the players that we talked to, they still feel like he's the greatest of all time. Miko, where's Tom Brady's legacy at this point in time, despite losing another Super Bowl?
I mean, they said it right there.
Yeah.
8 times, 5 rings. It's, to me, I feel like a lot of people don't give Tom Brady the respect because everyone tries to say it's a system because it's Belichick. But being an athlete, I don't care what system you're in, you actually have to go out there and play.
Right.
And Tom Brady has done it with whoever is on the roster. He's had some great rosters. He's had some weak ones. This year, I think, was one of the weakest, and he still got back there. Granted, he lost, but look at how great he played. Even, he lost Cooks early. That was a big target for him this season. They went out and got that guy once they lost Edelman. So I just feel like even though he lost, this actually showed why he is the greatest still.
Yeah.
This proved to me that he's the greatest. He was down players. Things didn't go right this entire season. There's controversy, in the front office for the first time. Him and Belichick are arguing over things, and they still got to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I think he's the GOAT.
Yeah, it was rather impressive. Gil, you still rocking with Tom?
No, I'm just saying, you don't, your legacy don't get jeopardized.
You don't think so?
No, it's what we talk about now. 6, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
He has 5 rings. That's all everyone remembers.
Yeah.
They're not going to remember who he lost to.
You don't think so? I mean, Giants fans bring it up all the time.
Yeah.
Name every team Jordan beat in the championship.
Every team that he beat in the championship? He beat the Lakers, the Blazers, the Suns, left 2 years, came back and beat the Sonics, and then beat Utah twice.
Talk about it.
I should have asked him. I should ask you. Fucking nerd over here. Serious. No one remembers
He's right though.
What we think about right now. Nobody remembers in 20 years. We got the logo. Nobody knows he was 1 for 7 in championships. Magic Johnson 5. 3 for 5, 3 for 6. No one remembers it. It's just he won. He has 3 championships. Brady has 5. That's.
What do you think, Cap?
Doesn't tarnish his legacy at all. He's a 40-year-old league MVP who had an amazing performance in the Super Bowl, so no tarnish on his legacy whatsoever. Yeah. But I think Bill Belichick takes a little bit of a hit for the fact that, again, a defensive coach by pedigree.
Yes.
Defense is awful this season, costing the Super Bowl and the Malcolm Butler decision.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick takes a hit for the Super Bowl.
He takes a hit now. He doesn't
in the grand scheme of things, I agree with you. It's not going to matter, but he's going to be the greatest coach of all time with Lombardi. But, in the meantime, he has to take a hit.
I feel like this loss is going to be on Belichick's hands. People are going to blame him for this.
If I'm the Detroit Lions, I'm a little upset because the defensive coordinator for the Patriots is about to become my head coach.
Yeah.
And I'm playing the division with Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Yeah. Little context. I saw this tweet earlier, and I'm curious about it. So if Malcolm Butler doesn't make the interception against the Seattle Seahawks in the final seconds to win the Super Bowl, nor do the Patriots come back 28-3, the Patriots, Belichick, and Tom Brady would be 0-5 in their last 5 Super Bowls. What do we think about that? Any context to that? Or do you give them credit for even coming back in the first place?
Wait a minute.
We're talking about a lot of ifs.
I know.
That's what I want to say. I want to say a lot of ifs.
Did you just give me some ifs here?
I'm asking a question. Says the guy that didn't even watch the Super Bowl. Miko, what
I just said, how do you if something like?
That's sports, though. From a fan's perspective, there's a lot.
If I didn't get injured, I'd be a Hall of Fame right now.
But you can also flip that in some of their losses and say, if some of these things hadn't happened, they would have won. So you can flip that on both sides. Yeah. Their losses could have been wins.
Very true.
And their wins could have been losses. So I just go off of who played and who won, and that's it.
Definitely. I think she was onto something about the Belichick thing. What? What was that?
I was about to just say, yep. You're right.
All right, Pierce.
If you wouldn't have bet your watch up against the Eagles.
Don't bet him no more.
I'm not going to send you an invoice.
He's not paying us.
Just give me the watch.
Just give me my $60,000. I would like it in a duffel bag.
In a duffel bag.
I would have bet for the Patriots, you would have had $60,000.
This guy's ridiculous.
All right, speaking about wagers, we went through our prop bets on Thursday. Now it's time to pay those off. So let's bring up what we went with on Thursday. Let's see who's the winner.
Gil.
Gil actually won a wager, or 4 of them. Gil went 4 out of 5. Your boy went 3 for 2. Pierce, 2 and 3, bringing up the rear.
Look at him.
What's hilarious about this is when they cut from the asset to Gilbert in the white T-shirt, he's just like this. Patriots cut out.
Winner, baby, don't lose.
You don't lose.
I don't lose.
This says you do
You
lose.
said you did lose.
But let's bring
No,
up
I'm
the
just
graphic.
saying, I don't like the Patriots.
Let's bring up the graphic one more time. I want you guys to give me your biggest surprise that you either won or lost. Which one did you not expect to actually hit on?
Color is Bill Belichick's hoodie, correct?
Yes.
Well, we should have all won that one because we said he wasn't going to wear a hoodie.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that should be a green check.
Yeah, I'm undefeated.
Well, no, technically we went the color.
Oh, that was
color,
a
yes.
Oh,
Color.
Gatorade.
What color
Gatorade.
wait, color of the Gatorade?
Yeah.
The color of the Gatorade was yellow.
We said that they weren't going to pour it on him, but they did.
I said they did what color?
Orange. And don't you say you said orange. You did
Oh,
not
here
say
he
orange.
go.
You did not say orange.
Look, he's trying to.
No,
I'm just saying.
Swerving out another
trying
one.
to-
No,
How to win
they
the
had
line.
clear.
No, they didn't have clear. It was orange.
On mine it said clear.
Yeah.
That was an option.
No,
Yeah,
but
they
it was
wasn't. They
orange.
didn't dump him with
They
clear.
used orange.
Yes.
So you lost. You lost.
Well, actually, it was
Food color.
technically yellow.
It was clear and they used a color.
Yeah. You lost it.
Wait, Tom, go, back
food
up, back
color
up.
and they just
You
changed
said it
food
was
color.
clear and they put food color in it. I got to help Gilbert win this bet. Let me put it in.
Swerving out another one. All right, but real talk, we have to get into the Eagles fan celebration that got wild and weird in the city of Philadelphia last night. We'll start with famous Eagles fans Kevin Hart, who was wilding out on the set of the NFL Network last night, dropping F-bombs and drunkenly getting involved with everybody. And then in the city itself, the Crisco cops became the pole patrol as they covered light poles with hydraulic fluid, so they upgraded from the championship game and preventing fans from climbing on them, but that didn't stop Philly fans from just completely getting crazy, literally wild. Fans were climbing on the gates of City Hall, shooting off fireworks. They were jumping off the Ritz-Carlton awning, which later collapsed. They overturned at least one car, tore down multiple poles and signals, and one fan literally ate shit. So Philly, round of applause for taking to levels that we never knew were possible.
Yay, props to them. I don't think anyone expected anything less.
Yeah, there was even one proposal. There was actually one wedding proposal, too. Our man on the street, Max Rappaport, if you go to Complex Sports, documents his trip around the city of Philadelphia last night. He got on camera some guy proposing to his girl who was holding a 40 of Old English malt liquor. So, yeah, that's how wild and crazy.
Savage.
That's going to be dangerous.
I want to be at that one.
But shout out to Gil when you was naming all the activities. He was like, slow clap.
This is
They know how to do it. They know how to
That's the only way you do it. You go out in style.
But Miko, your husband is from Philadelphia.
Yes.
And we know that Philadelphia is definitely a football town. They worship the Eagles, live and die by them as much as more than anything else. So now that Philly finally has its Super Bowl for the first time in the city's history, are the fans finally going to calm down and not be complete savages going forward?
Never. It's actually going to get worse.
Make them worse.
This makes it worse.
You're talking about a team that booed Santa, that cheered someone getting their neck broken
Michael
in a
Irvin.
game. Like, these fans are beating everyone
Known to throw
up.
batteries onto the
They
field.
throw batteries. We're talking about an organization that hasn't won ever. And they have now won, and you think this? No.
Oh
this
yeah,
is going to the top.
starting out the season is going to be.
This is
brutal.
going to the top. This is going to the top, and I'm very proud. I'm happy for Philly. I feel like they really deserve this. Honestly, the Eagles fans, the things that they've gone through, the curse. There's been a curse on the Eagles and their football team, and I feel like this is just something for them to finally just get off their back. They can talk shit to the entire division now. They can now have something to say to Cowboy fans. Like, this is big for them now. Like, this is never ending, ever.
And then question, do we see any racist double standard with the celebrations in Philadelphia?
Come on.
At all?
1,000%.
Yes. The armored trucks would have been out, the tanks, the rubber bullets, the mace, the dogs, everything would have been
He's saying no.
You say no?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Was it out there?
No.
And those fans are black.
No. They were white. There was a majority. I saw nothing
Only
but
first of
white
all,
people.
only white people celebrate anyway.
No.
Only white people jump off shit and you got a grease pole
But
and they want to tear down and they want to burn. Only black people only do that during the riots. Okay, that's the only time we do shit like that when we mad. We don't do stuff like that when we happy.
When we win?
No, we don't do stuff
We
like that.
just light a joint.
Hey, I did
drink something.
I did see Kevin Hart
God.
get rejected.
That was hilarious.
No, because the face he made was just like his son's. No. This is a true story. We go to Six Flags.
Yeah.
And his son wasn't actually 48 inches.
Is Kevin Hart 48
I don't
inches?
even think
So he couldn't get on the ride. So he's sitting there negotiating with the guy. His daughter does the same thing the dude in the yellow jacket did. Watch out, little dude. Watch out, little dude. So his daughter, come on, you holding up the line and get off. So watching Kevin last night reminded me of that day. Like, that is hilarious.
The
You had to
rejection.
save little face your son had.
Looking up.
Listen, he deserves it. I mean,
Yes.
the Eagles have been suffering for years. They've had a lot of heartbreaking losses. They definitely sacrificed Markelle Fultz's jump shot to win them a Super Bowl. So, hey, listen.
And for Philly fans, completely
Hey,
worth
did
it.
you see him? Like,
His jump shot?
No, his workout.
Yeah, it looked great until he started shooting the basketball. And I was like,
he don't have a tear because he was dunking.
but you see, he was
Still
like,
a work in
yeah,
progress.
it's terrible.
But he was dunking, so it ain't his shoulder.
No, it is a shoulder. Come on. You're the one who was prophesizing about this. His
Yeah,
shoulder's
but I'm
all
just
messed up.
saying, I'm seeing him dunk and do all kind of, so he can raise that.
Let's see him actually make a jump shot before we kind of
Very true.
get to a conclusion. All right.
That's okay.
One more football thing to get to. We have to send out a note. Am I good to go?
Why? You missed the gym, he said under his breath.
Go.
Okay.
He said Lonzo can't make a jump shot. Why you?
Perfectly.
All right, one more football thing to get to. We have to send out congratulations to friend of the program, Terrell Owens, who was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame for the class of 2018. So, T.O.,
Finally.
big congrats to you. Finally.
Finally.
Long overdue. T.O. got on his third ballot as a finalist, and T.O. is joining the likes of Randy Moss, a well-deserving first ballot Hall of Famer, also Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Brian Dawkins, Jerry Kramer, Robert Brazil, and Bobby Beathard. So congrats to
Who the fuck are the last five?
some older players.
Oh.
They're
But Brian
not all
Dawkins,
players.
Eagles legend.
I'm like, what the fuck are all these people in the
Urlacher, you remember Urlacher
know
from
who
Chicago
Brian
Bears?
Urlacher is, yeah.
You know Ray Lewis.
I know Ray Lewis. He was top three. He was third when you said his name.
It really bothers me, and no diss to Brian. Well, this might come off as diss to Brian Dawkins. The fact that Terrell Owens can't be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but Brian Dawkins
Agreed.
be a
It's
first ballot
completely
Hall
ridiculous.
of Famer is
Like, I looked at
strange to
T.O.'s
me.
stats, and I'm like, come on, this is.
We know what it's about.
This is ridiculous.
We know what it's about. It's really just about the fact that he did things that this league is against.
Yeah.
You don't make yourself an actual person. You don't go against the shield. You're supposed to just be a helmet with a shield on it. And T.O. made himself a personality. They didn't want
But that's
him
why
to.
everyone loved him, though.
Yeah.
But see, that's
That's the problem with the league,
because the writers vote for it,
which is trash.
right? So how are you as a writer saying you don't like this guy because he was this way, but he's the one who's giving you your sound bites for you to even be in this position anyway?
Talk
So
about it.
I don't
Talk
like
about
that
it.
part. Like, I'm giving you shit that you can write about me, good or bad, but I'm giving you
I'm
that.
feeding your
and now you're becoming bigger and better as a journalist, and then you snub me when it's time? Fuck that.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
So you wish the biases wouldn't come into play when this voting happens, but it's also very hypocritical of the writers where we had T.O. in here talking about how his background and the fact that he never was in trouble, yet his behavior is held against him. Well, the writers voted in Ray Lewis, and what does Ray Lewis have attached to his
Murder.
his persona? Yeah,
because he probably greased up the reporters.
He's a coon, that's why. He's a coon. Ray Lewis is going to get in because he's a coon. He's shucking and jiving for the entire NFL. Look at this motherfucker going to get on two knees and say he was praying. Get the hell out of
Shucking
here.
and drive.
T.O. did what real niggas do. T.O. actually said how he felt. He celebrated. He enjoyed himself. He was not a problem. T.O. never took a day off. He never took a playoff, any of that. And he should have got in first ballot. It's disrespectful. It's just another way so you can see that the NFL is full of shit.
You're definitly onto something with that
Finish
one.
it, too.
Yeah. Can you do that dance you did? What was that?
Shucking and jive, man. Shucking and
That was the shuck and jive.
I just that's the only thing I hate about it, that you guys, as a reporter, like,
It's disrespectful.
you're using him for
job.
people to look at your paper,
And
then you try to snub him when it
Yes, I know, but people do hold interactions. It's very tough to kind of sometimes separate the two of your personal interaction with somebody when you're trying to do your
Right.
job, and someone can be negative towards you. You have butt heads a lot. Like, it sometimes can be very tough to separate that. You wish the writers would do a better job of that. They didn't in T.O.'s case, but finally, but justice finally prevailed. T.O. finally got in. He deserved to be in years ago.
Let me tell you something about these writers. A lot of these writers hate people like us, athletes. You slept with all their girlfriends in high school, in college. You were better.
Probably.
The athlete was better than them at sports. and this isn't all of them, but I would say that a lot of writers are corny losers that grew up and they take shots at athletes.
No. Don't be side-eyeing me. Don't be side-eyeing me.
If you're a hit dog, you're going to holler right now. So if that wasn't you, it doesn't affect you. But a lot of these guys are corny losers, and they take shots at these athletes their entire career. And then for it to be only writers in the Hall of Fame, like, what are they thinking about? There are plenty of players. They should mix up coaches, players, and some writers to pick the Hall of Fame. Like, why are we just letting all the guys who never got pussy in high school pick the Hall of Fame?
Don't be looking at me.
My guy
look
Adam,
at the camera.
good.
Yeah, why am I catching these bullets?
My guy Adam is good. He's not a cornball. He good.
Why am I catching these bullets from you?
He was a writer.
If you're not a hit dog, did that make you feel away?
He was a writer.
That didn't make him feel away, though. I'm not talking
Just
about
gonna let him slide like that?
It's only a certain guy, and I mean, I'm just...
You know on the
Get him, Miko.
Listen, that's the Hall of Fame voting.
When?
Go.
Never.
Yeah, exactly.
That wraps up the latest edition of Out of Bounds. We went off on a good note. Everybody kind of got roasted here on the panel. You got my boots. You said that he's a cornball. It's just you get a little bit of everything.
I won all the bets.
Oh, God.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Alternative facts.
For Adam Caprell, Gilbert Arenas, our special guest.
Miko, thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
So appreciate it.
He's just biased against the black people over here.
I don't think so. My guy Cap is good. Look, he's uncomfortable. He's shaking his head. He's like, I'm not going to talk about
Can we end the
this.
show now, please?
He was probably out in Philly celebrating with the greased up pole.
Oh, God.
I'm Pierce Simpson. This is Out of Bounds. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let me tell you something. I'm a journalist now. You know, and I just feel like a lot of the journalists are people
she a
that
coon.
didn't.
Why you do this?
Like, when I never even knew that you were a journalist, like that deep. But you don't appear to be one of those pussyless guys that are writers. You don't.
Talk that talk, Miko. Talk that talk.
Sometimes you can look at him and tell, like, this dude never got pussy. Like, never.